So nothing of value then. I'm kidding. He's the
How?
funniest part of the podcast.
He's not. I mean, nah, he's fine, I guess. He never really does anything special. He just fucking shows up and cracks wise.
He's the best. Is he still editing, or are you editing now?
No, I'm editing these days.
Yeah.
So, do you have a freaking lightsaber?
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's the holiday episode. I picked Halloween. So favorite holiday. I dressed up. Audio listeners, love you to death. I'm dressed up as Mace Windu.
I hate it here.
You're such a fucking moron.
You better have a freaking Christmas sweater under there.
What's going on, everybody? Happy holidays from us here at Critically Stupid. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever denomination you subscribe to. I know you are used to hearing my voice sort of in the middle of the episode, but I thought as a wintertide treat, I'd get my bullshit out of the way early so that you could enjoy it uninterrupted. This is our one-shot holiday special. It's an individual episode, meaning that there are no spoilers for future episodes or recurring characters or events from past episodes, so just you don't need to know anything going into it. Just set it on and enjoy. One quick note that I want to throw out there before I let you get to it: if you tweet us at CritStupid, you could end up as a character on the show. Characters like Fanny McGuckian and Maria Maccabee. That would be Fanny is at FanTCBooks on Twitter, and Maria is at MLorcaWriter on Twitter. Both of those lovely ladies have supported us since we only had a couple of episodes on the air, tweeting at the show regularly, helping us out a lot with retweets and stuff. So girls, I super appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy your facsimiles in this episode. Remember, everybody, if the meat puppets in the show do something weird, that's on me, not on the people that they're inspired from. All likenesses are fake or whatever they put in before TV shows. We're playing a loose interpretation of a one-shot written by JManc, J-M-A-N-C, on Reddit. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but if you like what you're about to hear and you want to check it out and run your own spin on it, I highly recommend checking it out. That's JManc on Reddit, and it's a Christmas-themed one-shot. So once again, happy Wintertide, and please enjoy Critically Stupid's holiday special. All right, I love you. What's going on, everybody? Happy holidays from everybody here at Critically Stupid to whatever denomination you subscribe to. Adventurers, happy Wintertide. The city of Waterdeep is in the middle of 5 full days of snow. The streets are congested and traffic is a nightmare, but at least there's a pretty white blanket on all of the sidewalks for people to walk through with their cloaks and their tassels, sometimes on the same garment.
Quick question.
Is it about the cloaks or the tassels?
No, it's about the traffic. Is that a coincidence, or is the snow impeding the horse-drawn carriages?
It's obviously that one.
Cool.
We have so much to get through. I'm already terrified. Wintertide, obviously, being a time of families gathering, friends gathering, eating big dinners together, and gift giving. When Cerulean and Gareth come downstairs one sort of early afternoon in Troll Skull Tavern, you see the newly still renovated tavern floor relatively empty at this early hour. It's like the mid-afternoon. You guys are probably, I would imagine, with a lot of Arnold's music programs, doing more of like an evening trade, particularly in this time of year, as people with families come to peruse books and sit over glasses of mead and share tales and swap stories.
We sell hot cocoa at the bar.
Oh, do you? Is it alcoholic?
Obviously.
Sick. But as you come downstairs, you notice a familiar redhead standing behind the bar, craning his head, clearly trying to get your attention. As Floon is sort of like, hey, bro, I mean, Gareth, what's up? I gotta, and he sort of like pulls you in, and he sort of sheepishly sidles up to you and says, hey, bro, so like, this is, all right, so like, it's a little, I've been feeding this lady like, okay, so let me back up. Bro, Gareth, I've been working on like this. I know that you're the lead bartender, and like,
I
I've been
will
working on,
pay you 100 gold pieces to finish this sentence.
I've been working on like my own like low-key cocktail program that I think like might be a hit for the bar. So I've been working on one, I call it cider wine. And I just pour cider and wine together. I'm gonna be real, this is the first time I've done it, but that lady really seems to like it. And he points down the bar, and there is a I think I would best describe her as frazzled, older lady with like gray shot, black hair, well cared for, and sort of like a nicer cloak around her shoulders.
Is it red with white fur?
No, it's just a cloak. Is sitting at the bar, weaving in place and sort of like humming to herself. And Floon says, "Yeah, so like I think cider wine might be a hit because she's been here for like 2 hours."
Okay. Flute, love it if people will drink it, put it on the menu. I love your enthusiasm. However, that lady looks insane.
But like, she's been asking to like talk to you guys. Like, Cerulean, like you specifically, I think she thinks like you're like the boss, which like I don't know why everybody here knows that Garrett's the boss. What
Cerulean just goes.
No. Flute thought of something here.
Cerulean looks at Gareth and it's just like, honey, please.
Gets puffing his chest out.
Really quick, while Cerulean and Gareth are going down to the tap room, Arnold and Mel, what would you find yourselves doing on a cold winter's day in Waterdeep?
Making a band of snow people. I'm making a band of snow people right out front. Just rolling.
Yeah.
Wish you a merry wintertide. Wish you a merry wintertide. Wish you a merry wintertide. And then get you a cider wine.
That's exactly how I'm singing it. Like specifically just like that. Like not no different.
Mel, what about you?
What am I doing? Are you gonna hate me if I'm just chilling in my little crow's nest?
Let's say that you have rigged with Floon and some of the other front of house workers. I imagine you've got like maybe one or two, being that you're still a new operation, a pulley system where they have like, there's like a little tray and then like a rope along the wall. So they like put something on the tray and they can sort of pull it up.
Real talk, if we could get that for like me in real life, that
so
fucking
you could
slap.
never talk to any of us.
Fuck merch.
That sounds amazing. That's my Christmas wish.
All right, so Mel, you definitely can overhear what's happening here because again, the tavern's pretty quiet. It's this old lady, maybe like 2 or 3 other tables, sort of like chatting convivially, but nobody's really making a ruckus, so you'd be able to overhear this. Arnold, let's say there's an open window where you can see it, but you don't quite hear it fully.
Fair.
I will say that you do catch an eyeful of some of the neighborhood kids here at Troll Skull. You actually recognize two of them as being Dustin Ego and Evan, one of the shop boys from Corellian's Crown, start engaging in a little a snowball fight in the yard across the way.
Troll Skull Manor is actually very popular among youths because we don't card.
That's such a bad reason to be popular.
Such a bad reason. Says the 19-year-old.
Wrong. I'm 20.
Oh, he's 20 now. He's a big man. All right,
Big baller still can't drink.
The old lady looks up from her wine, and you can actually see it's like a pretty gnarly shade of sangria rosé, with like an ugly foam at the top. Whatever Floon's cooked up for her is it's fucking whack. But she says, yeah, now aren't you Cerulean, the leader of the Ghost Mafia?
Time out. What were the Ghost Mafia?
Yeah, that's
What was the Ghost Mafia?
Yeah, you've been in Ghost Mafia since episode 7, dog.
I have a Ghost Mafia tattoo already. Come on.
Okay. Okay. So she looks at her and she said, I am Cerulean unless I've done something wrong, and then I'm not.
She says, my name is Fanny McGuckian, and I'm the CEO of Fabulous Toys and Tobacco, and I would love your help.
That's a crazy combo.
She said toys and tobacco?
It's appropriate for our establishment.
Holy shit, that might be my favorite store ever.
Fabulous Toys and Tobacco.
Well, what is it that you're needing help with?
And where is your store located?
We've got 3 franchises across Waterdeep. We boom in the wintertime because the children come in for the toys and then they leave with the tobacco.
And then they come back for more tobacco.
We've actually been working on a new product, it's just water vapor. The kids just eat it up.
So, we've been working on something new. It's called vapor. You put it in a little pot. We're calling it a jewel.
No, I was going to say, we're calling it a gem.
Yeah, it's a gem. She says,
that's clever.
she says, but we used to have 6 locations across Waterdeep, but there's been a scourge and affliction on Fabulous Toys and Tobacco, and I could use your help. I heard from a friend of a friend that you bought this place recently, which means you are savvy business people, and I know a clean, sharp mind like yourself.
Mel's just laughing to herself, by the way, overhearing all of this, just fucking laughing. Not intervening, mind.
Cerulean is looking less and less impressed.
This time of year, it's very busy for us toy makers. You know, we're in the business of making children happy.
Is she a gnome? Is she a gnome?
No, she is a human woman. Boring. But there's been a rise in the competition. I'm being put out of business. We're down to 3 distribution centers, and I'm worried for the future of my grandfather's company. He built Fabulous Toys, and well, it was just Fabulous Tobacco back then because those old timers were rough as shit. But I started making toys, and I'm gonna sell them. But this Santa Claus is putting me out of business.
Look, that's fantasy capitalism, okay? Sometimes fantasy Amazon gets involved in that.
She turns and points up at your crow's nest, and as she turns to Cerulean, this woman is fucking like her drink fully like slides with her in like a crescendo of cider wine.
Gareth catches all of it perfectly in his mouth. Not a drop spilled on the ground.
You know what? I'm not even gonna have you roll for it. Sure. But Mel, she shouts up at your crow's nest and says, but it's not capitalism because he's getting them for free. That's not fair.
No, I think that is. I'm pretty sure that is.
So again, I'm gonna ask one last time. What do you need?
Well, I hate to interrupt here. Honestly, wait it out. Giving away toys for free, it seems like a pretty bad business model. Doesn't seem very sustainable.
That's exactly what I thought, and I thought I'd had him last year. I thought I'd wait it out when I had 4 distribution centers, and then this year I'm down to 3. Next year I'll be out on my hat. I don't have a hat, but if I had one, I'd be out on it. Now, I know what you're going to say, young lady. What do I want? I will give you 500 gold dragons to find out where this Santa Claus is getting his free toys. And I'll give you another 500 gold pieces to put him out of business for a little bit.
Have you tried the
I just
fantasy
need like
loophole?
six months to get back on my company's feet, metaphorically.
I'm pretty sure he's like on vacation for like 11 months. He doesn't really do a lot for the most
Okay.
of
Fantasy
the
Santa Claus never sleeps.
year.
So Cerulean looks at her and says, okay, what's the last place you've seen him, heard rumors about him? I need some information to get this thing moving.
She says, well, now that's just the cherry on it, isn't it? That's the fucked up part. That's the messed up part. She
I think
reaches
it's way funny, this old ass lady. That's the fucked up piece of shit.
To be
awful
fair,
God.
she's like real drunk though, right?
So
So
she's hammered.
She reaches into like the pocket of her cloak and then like gets her hand stuck and then fumbles around for a little bit and pulls out an empty hand and then like plunges into the pockets along the side and finally pulls up a tiny snow globe. And it's real cheap looking cerulean. You can tell that even without a perception check. It's cheap plastic. The paint is peeling off of it. But inside it shows a picture of a warehouse and little pieces of plastic snow floating along it. And she slams it on the bar and she says, he leaves one of these at every house he stops in. Every single one. Now I don't understand the free toys, but snow globes, these are fucking expensive. And look at. Oh yeah, sorry, Arnold.
I see the snow globe through the window too.
You see her pull it out. I don't know that you'd see what was in her hand specifically, but you can definitely see this scene sort of like becoming lively.
Okay.
I'm gonna message him mentally and be like, hey Arnold, I think we got a job. You might want to get in here.
Like, I was just beating the heck out of Dustin Ego with snowballs. It's amazing. But I'll be right back. I'll be in, and I run inside and I'm like, and then I imagine I see the snow globe and I'm like,
Yeah,
I love those.
You get there just as she slams it on the bar.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
But she says, but look. And she points, and on this warehouse in very fastidious detail, Cerulean, is a sign, almost like a sign that you would see on top of a normal warehouse, that says, suck it, Fanny.
Hold on a second, what?
Suck it, Fanny.
Oh, Fanny.
I think Fantasy Claus might be my hero.
He leaves one of these at every house. Do you know how many houses he's stopped in the last 3 weeks? I've gotten thousands of these.
Do they all say suck it, Fanny? That's hilarious. You're getting old.
How is she getting them? Are the houses dropping them off?
Them?
Oh,
I'm gonna ask her. Okay, so are they just being left on your doorstep? And also, have you pissed anybody off lately?
Fabulous Toys and Tobacco didn't become a fantasy Fortune 500 company by making friends and kissing babies. I've made a shit ton of enemies. It's fucking crazy how many I've got. But
I need like 2 top ones.
he drops these snow globes where he drops the presents. So he drops the presents at an orphanage, and then the orphanage calls my office very confused and says, did you drop these? And I have to say no. And it's embarrassing.
So do I recognize the warehouse in the
There's
snow
an
globe?
address.
On
Well, that's helpful.
Fantasy Claus has left a full-on calling card, and this bitch can't figure out where he resides.
She didn't say she didn't know where he was.
So, when we find this Santa Claus, what exactly? You're just wanting us to put him out of business for a while.
If you could, I'll tell you what, if a while was forever, I'd be thrilled as tits.
You wanted
Is
to kill
she
him.
trying to hire a hitman? Because
we're gonna
if
get
so,
Christmas villain quest.
I'm coming down to discuss
minute.
We're
further.
not fantasy
Mr.
holiday
Santa
hobo
Claus.
murder hobos.
Maybe you're not.
Mel comes down for murder. It's canonical now.
That sounds like a child's tale. Mel comes down for murder.
How come
Instead of Santa coming down the chimney, Mel comes down to the crow house for murder.
Oh my gosh! If you give Mel some murder,
What'd you say?
if you give Mel some murder,
She's
I'm
gonna want to murder
obsessed.
again.
Okay, all right. It is a cold wintertide night in Waterdeep as you walk down the misty alleyways of the South Ward, close to the eastern wall of the city. The castle atop Mount Waterdeep, you can see, is festooned with torches. You have left the gaily illuminated, sort of like festival-laden streets behind you. As you walk into what's like considered the industrial ward, and set a ways away from all of the other warehouses is one squat, multi-roomed warehouse that sits below a blanket of snow. There is a set of chimneys with white smoke gently puffing out of it, and it smells vaguely of cinnamon and gingerbread. But there is
doors. The chimneys are the only entrances.
No, there is actually one door. It's sort of located exactly where you would expect it to be.
Lame. You missed an opportunity.
Hey,
Look, you guys are welcome to go down the chimney if you want, but Arnold and I are going to use the door.
No.
I'm already drawing a corpse face on myself. I'm like, I know the drill. We've done this before. No.
The door is set a little bit ways back from the road, which again, very quiet. You guys are kind of the only ones on it, and there's a lawn of snow. And clearly some of the neighborhood kids have been in, because there's a couple of like haphazardly fashioned snowmen sort of like sitting on the lawn. You actually pass a few of them leaving Troll Skull and coming all the way down here. It's a fairly commonplace thing.
I'm gonna go up to the door and see if it's unlocked.
Fuck yeah.
Quietly.
I'm just like, what's this? What's this? This no.
Oh, no.
There's so far been 3 Nightmare Before Christmas references.
I mean,
Keep track, baby. We're going hard today. All right,
Yeah,
Cerulean.
that's our quest, right?
You get. I think it doesn't happen to you because you go first. I think it happens to Arnold, who I suspect goes second.
Okay.
Arnold, as you're walking, you hear a voice explode from the snow beside you and say, "Well, gosh there, mister, where do you think you're off to?" And you turn, and one of the snowmen has pivoted on its base and is waving at you like marionette style with a frozen coal smile across his face.
Does he
Knock his
have
head
a
off.
magic top hat?
He has a top hat.
Is it magic?
Take off the hat.
Wait, what's his name? Cerulean goes, "What's your name?"
This is
So
happening to you.
I'm just like, can everyone else see this time? Is this just a me thing again?
Well, hey there, son. Where do you think you're off to?
We're here to talk to someone named Santa. Do you know that? Do you know this person?
Well, gosh darn it, this is Santa's warehouse, but this is wintertide, my friend. You're going to have to come back tomorrow for your presents.
Oh, I'm not here for presents. I'm here because Santa and I, we know each other. I'm gonna lie. I'm lying. I'm lying to this snowman.
How would you
I'm
say that out loud?
Okay. Roll a deception, or let's
You
see
got it. You got it. I'm gonna deceive this.
You can assume he continues waving. I'm going to stop because my arm hurts.
Oh God, I got a 20.
A nat 20?
Nat 20.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Cerulean's just humming.
Mel is trying to convince Gareth to just knock the hat off.
Well, that was my
It
first
does not
reaction.
take a lot. It takes very little convincing.
Let's do that in a second because that's very funny. All right, Arnold, I think there's a moment where these sort of like coal eyes like lock into yours briefly. And while that hand is still waving, there's a pause. And then the snowman says, "Well, gosh darn it, that's a little weird because the warehouse is closed today and you're going to have to come back tomorrow for your presents. But I guess if you know Mr. Claus."
Can Cerulean hear this?
Yeah.
Can she also hear Gareth and Mel talking about knocking the head off?
Nope.
We're being very subtle.
Darn it.
Uh,
if you
We're
run it
sneaky.
back when
We're
you're
the
watching
sneaky
this,
ones.
if you run it back when you're watching this, that was literally the first thing I said. I was like, knock its head off.
Fair enough. Well, I guess if you know Mr. Claus, you can go. You can go ahead and go right in. But he's working real late, so be nice, be a good boy, and you'll get a present.
Yeah, I'm always good. I look at Cerulean and I'm like, we can go. We can do this. Let's
I
go.
just open the door and
All right.
and I go, Gareth, Mel, come on.
As Gareth passed, he just
I'm
like
trying to say like, yeah, just do it. Just when we
he
walk
just,
by,
like,
just
real
do it.
fast, just like
yeah, just
So you're gonna hit it.
yeah, just like knock it,
knock it off his head.
Please
Give
tell
me
me it's
give me
like
a
an
dex
armor
attack,
class of
Gareth.
20.
Say again.
Give me a dex attack.
Dex attack. All right, what's that? Just dex modifier.
Yeah,
Dex, how it's a hat on snow.
he's trying to be fast. I
Oh,
imagine.
Dex.
I
Are you just
am
trying
trying
to
to be
knock the
fast.
hat off or the
Yeah.
head?
No,
The
his hat.
Oh,
The hat, and I'm the murder
What is
hobo.
wrong with you?
God damn.
We were doing a Frosty
I got a
reference. You just
15
want to
plus
straight up
3.
murder him.
I got a
17,
18.
18.
nothing to chance.
Gareth, I think your hand sort of like lashes out, but continues to move past the space where this snowman's frame was just a split second before he moves in a blur of snow, ice, and carrot. And then he swivels to you and says, well, hey there. Welcome to Santa Claus's warehouse. It's closed today. You're going to have to come back tomorrow for your presents.
Jesus Christ! Sorry, I'm with them, part of Santa's crew. I was just there was a fly.
Were you trying to take my hat?
No, there was a fly.
What would we possibly need your hat for?
Why, I
Obviously,
have
there was a fly.
All
my
the
own
neighborhood
hat.
kids want Mr. Frosty's hat.
That's weird. I don't know why.
It's a magic hat. Mr. Claus gave it to me.
We gotta get that hat.
But Mel, Mr. Frosty looks at you, and these cold, coal ass eyes dig into yours, and he says, "Well, all the neighborhood kids want Mr. Frosty's hat. It's a magic hat. You got to come back tomorrow for your presents. But you strike me as a naughty girl.
Oof! Ew!
Maybe no presents for you." And then there's a moment, and there's like you almost see like an iridescent shimmer across the snowman's face, and that voice alters just a little bit. It pitches down just half an octave, and it goes, "Maybe you should get out of my face."
Hard.
Cerulean goes, they're with us. They're with us. Come on, guys, let's go.
It turns back to face the front street.
I'm taking that fucking hat
Can
now.
I tell if it's like? I don't know if I would if.
Can I just shoot it off its head? Like, can I just
I don't know
use
if
an arrow and shoot it off its
You
fucking
can.
head? I'm pissed now.
We might need to be nice to Santa.
That's not Santa.
This is
But
Mr. Frosty.
Santa gave him the hat.
Can I tell if it's like a pile of snow that's been enchanted or if it's like a creature of sorts?
Gareth, give me an Arcana check, and Mel, if you're serious, roll an attack. If you don't roll, I'll consider it just chatter.
Is it really an attack? I'm not trying to shoot the snow. I'm just trying to like shoot the hat off.
If you roll bad, your arrow misses.
And if you roll really bad, it hits one of us.
Oh well, in that case,
That's the spirit of Christmas, baby.
that is the spirit. What is it? Is it a
I got a
20?
7.
Yeah, Gareth, you got
Wow.
no fucking idea. The fact that this is a
Fiends.
pile of walking or of talking snow blows your goddamn mind.
Because you never went to school.
Hey, I've seen shit.
She's doing it. Okay.
I'm doing it. No fucks given. I'm gonna start like an international incident here.
Between the North Pole
snowman
and
just
Waterdeep.
like
This is
Yeah.
across international waters right here.
the snowman just like teleports behind her and kills her instantly, like sword through the stomach, like anime style.
Hold up. Hold up.
Jokes at
Well-
us. TKP.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Like, is that an option? Can I
No.
roll for
Diana,
that
roll.
option?
Roll.
Roll it or don't. We gotta go.
I'm rolling, goddammit.
Oh, no.
I got 26. Fuck you, Frosty. Fuck you.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
All right.
my goodness.
Okay.
Oh my damn.
You
Merry
shoot-
Christmas to me. I
you
get a
shoot
magic
this arrow, and it like catapults off this snowman's head, and goes like ass over tea kettle, like across the yard, into like the shadowy corner, like sort of like tucked behind the warehouse. There's a sudden burst of wind, the origin of which you don't see, that whips this snowman away in a flurry of loose flakes and empty coal that thuds onto the snow of this lawn. There's a split second, and then you hear a voice half an octave lower than the voice that greeted you at the lawn from the far end of the lawn say, "That was pretty fucked up of you.
Yeah,
Hey, come here for a second."
No.
Don't go over there. Y'all, let's go inside. We ain't got a lot of time because he's putting
Right.
Fanny out of. He's gonna put Fanny out on her fanny if we don't keep up.
She's got 3 fucking stores. We got some time. We could do
Also-
this next Christmas and we'd still have time.
You know, Gareth will do anything for money, but Gary's like, why do we give a shit about these two like corporate overlords?
That's
Katie
what I'm
really just wants
saying.
to get in the warehouse.
That's capitalism, baby. Okay, inside the warehouse, Arnold, pulling in from this kerfuffle outside, you are greeted by a almost life-size gingerbread village.
Fuck yeah.
The houses they're not quite like house sized. It's a model, but it's a sizable one. They're probably the size of draft horses. So like about 6-7 feet tall. Decorated really nicely, like piped icing and gumdrop window panes. And one of them's done in an Italian terracotta style, with maybe like a beetroot gingerbread foam, on one
Shut
of
up,
them.
chef.
Shut the I'm doing what I want. I'm living my best life. I can't put that in the show. That one's gonna get cut out. Anyway,
That's fucking hilarious.
there is a sign, like an old school like pole with like arrows pointing out of it. And it's got 4 locations that are written on it in common. However, Arnold, being the eagle-eyed private eye that you wish you were, you notice that somebody has scrawled over the letters of these signs with some sort of like red coloring. The original titles say Santa's Cookie Lab, Santa's Workshop, Reindeer Cells, and the Holding Cells. However,
Santa's cute workshop, the cute little reindeer stable, the elves' dorms, and the dungeon.
Santa's dungeon.
who remind me? Does anybody here speak Elvish?
I do.
I'm half elf, so I should.
I'm half
I
elf
thought it
too.
was
Oh, wait, no,
Arnold.
I don't. I'm a human.
I do too.
Somebody does.
So Arnold and Mel.
Okay.
Mel and Gareth sort of scooting in through the door. Mel, you would also pick up on all of the details that I've just described to Arnold. However, you would also be drawn to the writing on this sign, because it's been scrawled over the printed letters in almost like a hasty hand. And the signs now read Santa's Dookie Lab,
Nice.
Santa's Workshop. That one stays the same. The Paindeer Cells,
Hard.
and the Ho Ho Holding Cells.
I know exactly what the fuck goes on in there.
Sounds like a brothel.
So where are we going first?
Obviously, the ho
The ho ho holding cell.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think the group discusses it at all.
We all just turned and walked.
Yeah.
You walk down, and it's a large warehouse. It's got all the trappings of a warehouse. There are stacked boxes and barrels. You hear sort of the distant chugging of machinery coming through one of the arches. But you don't see any people, which seems a little curious because this is clearly like an operating warehouse. However, I imagine you chalked it up to it being quite late. You walk down one of the hallways, and it slants downward in a ramp. And then all of a sudden there is a sort of like a halfway counter, like like a checkpoint, and there is an elf in a green cloak and baggy trousers with pointed shoes with curls. You can't see his shoes. In a baggy green cloak and a hat.
I'm doing it.
Fuck yeah.
It's got a candy cane pattern on it.
I'm doing it. I'm going over and I'm holding his hand and I'm charming person.
You're just gonna sprint down the
Straight
hall.
up. Straight up.
I like to imagine Cerulean like says some really cool pickup line, and then he just like says something in Elvish. Just like, can't understand her at all.
How do you feel
I
like
think-
elfing around?
Ah, damn. All right, I love it. I think
don't
this
like
is.
that.
I think this is the Christmas miracle. That is
Come on.
Cerulean's charm person finally working. I feel it. I feel it. Go ahead. Do you roll or do I roll?
It's you.
What do I need to beat?
13. It's wisdom. No, you freaking
Wait.
so
Oh
bad in
no! A tie goes to the player, so you successfully charm person.
There we go.
This elf.
Happy holidays.
You see this elf sort of like visibly relaxed looking at you. And almost like a shy smile grows across his lips. And he looks at you and he says,
I hate it.
Arnold, you hear an elf say, "Hi, how are you?"
I have comprehend languages. So I thought I did. I don't. Rude. Okay.
Sorry, it's way funnier if somebody translates for you.
So Cerulean just goes, Arnold, what did he say?
Mel would translate, but she thinks this is real funny.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was like,
Love transcends language.
he says, "Hi, what do you want? You're beautiful."
Adam's gonna be so jelly.
Cerulean says, "Oh, honey, you're so sweet. Do you know where?" Okay, let me run it back here. What's the whole deal with this setup, honey? You know, there's a lot of interesting areas of this warehouse, like the ho-ho holding cells you seem to be in charge of. You seem like the type that's in charge. What did he say?
Arnold,
So
how faithful is the translation?
So I look at him and I'm like, I know she looks like a fantasy Karen right now, but she's very cool. She means well, and she just wants to know what's going on. We're just checking out.
Gareth like nudges Arnold, like ask him where the ho-ho-hos are.
I hate it. I hate
fucking
it here.
this place.
I quit.
Oh, I'm just guarding the prisoners for the boss. Just, another night on guard duty. Hello, lovely lady.
Arnold, what did he say?
So I turn and I basically say that, and I said, yes, he really is into whatever the thing is that you're doing right now.
Who all you got in the ho-ho holding cells?
Arnold, just for the
That's
sake
what
of
I'm
speed,
saying.
I'm gonna assume unless you interject that we're straight up.
Totally.
Okay. He says, "Oh, I'm really not supposed to say. It's sort of a trade secret, and lately a lot of people have been talking to the prisoners, and the boss has gotten upset." That's Tim.
What?
I gotta pull that one back. Sorry.
Mhm.
Are you redoing it or no?
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Okay. So she looks at him and she said, "Well, honey, I would never get you in trouble."
No, of course, I understand this. You
How
are, as they say in Elvish, trustworthy.
Can Gareth try to sneak behind him while they're talking? Because he's kind of like obviously infatuated with Cerulean.
Is the voice you settled on yours?
Bessie, I mean this in all sincerity and full compliments. Shut the fuck up.
I knew that was coming.
Gareth, I'll allow it, but it's going to need an alley-oop from Cerulean to do something to draw his attention particularly.
She just grabs him by the face and she's like, she moves him. She moves him.
She
Just
grabbed
heart and all. She just gets in his face. This is what he sees. Like blinders. Like legit. She does
8,000
that.
band-aids.
I can't help it. I have y'all, if you could see, anyways, grabs him by the face and says, "Your eyes are just so beautiful. I think they're the prettiest things I've ever seen."
I grab
Oh,
his
well.
face right after that and I say the same thing, but in Elvish.
Y'all just summed up like 95% of my DMs.
Oh man.
So to
You get
you,
Elven DM?
he looks at Cerulean, but he answers to Arnold and says, "Yes, thank you. They were given to me by my mother." That's what he sounds like now, Diana.
Bang!
All right, Garion, hit me with that stealth check.
Let's do
And
it.
you know what? Take advantage for the sweet alley-oop
Fuck
from,
yeah.
from
Hell
Cerulean and
yeah.
Arnold.
First roll is a 10 plus 7 is 17. Second roll is a 14 plus 7 is a 21.
All right, 21's quite good. There's like a half door or sort of like a countertop opening that you see that you sneak past very easily. There is actually a second guard sitting behind this guy. However, you hear the gentle snoring of slumber as you walk past. This dude is fully asleep because it is
I
quite
slit
late.
his throat. No, I'm kidding.
Merry Christmas.
Concussion.
We kick him in the head.
There you go. So
Christmas concussions.
I'm gonna roll with Gareth just for a second. Gareth, walking down this hall, the ramp continues and then opens up into sort of like what you think might used to have been like a set of like large industrial ovens. There are several dead, cold openings along one wall that have not been used in some time. But most of the space in the middle here is taken up by 3 candy cane cages. 2 on the sides are sort of like U-sized, and their openings are open. But by that I mean they're just candy canes. You can see inside of them. One in the center is big. It is a big cage. It is 10 feet tall, 10 feet back, and the holes in these candy canes have been very carefully mortared up with bits of graham cracker and icing.
Oh damn, they're getting serious if they're bringing.
However,
out a
in
cracker.
you hear a hey kid over here, and you turn and there is a gnome standing in one of the cages with electric blue skin and neon green hair.
Oh hell yeah, bro's built like a Nerf bullet.
And he says, "Hey, how'd you get past the gods?"
I work here.
Now, you and I both know that's a lie, right? Like, you're not wearing the uniform. You don't speak the lingo. You and I are talking in common. So, like, you want to swing that one past me again, big guy?
No, let's just stick with it.
All right, fine. Fuck it, whatever. You got the key? You can let me out?
Wow.
What'd he do though?
Why are you in? Fuck me. Why are you in there in the first place?
Oh, he'll totally be honest about this.
Prejudice.
The prejudice kind of sounds like a fancy word for racism to me.
Listen. Santa's got a thing for ice gnomes, all right? He's fucking... I didn't do shit. I didn't do squat, all right? I came at him and I said, "Hey, Santa, we got to talk about the way the labor's being divvied up. We don't think it's very fair." And he said, "Hey, Dave Grinch, why don't you get the fuck in that cage?" And then bing, bang, boom, I'm locked up in here. I don't think that's very fair. So why don't you let me out and I'll go deal with him in my own way. And then, hey, we ain't.
Maybe he shouldn't have gotten the fuck in the cage then. I'm just saying.
Will his heart
Commenting.
grow 3 sizes when he gets out?
Nice.
That is not a good thing, by the way. Like our
No, you
hearts
will
should
die if that
not
happens.
grow 3 sizes. Like
Hey,
cardiomegaly.
it's fantasy land.
Bad.
My heart grows 3 sizes
hypertrophy,
and it gets
it's not
punctured by
a
my
good
own
thing.
ribs.
You better
Garrett,
insight check that guy.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to. Well, I don't like using insight as just like I cast lie detector. That's boring.
I'm not going to tell you if he's lying or not. That's not what the insight is.
Can I use insight to see like? Ooh, Can I use insight to see if he is like used to combat at all, or if he's just a worker?
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
That's sick.
Let me find my fucking insight. There we go. Oh, natural 20.
No shit. Okay. All right. With an insight of 20, I will give you far and away more than what you asked for. This is a working person. You can already see the calluses on his hands as he sort of grips the candy canes. His clothes are not only like disused a little bit from what you assume to be his time spent in this candy cane cage, but they're like tough and leathered, stripped down and clearly like seen some shit. I will also tell you that ice gnomes are known throughout the land for their artificing power, or their ability to create matter from very, very little.
Cool. Like a snowman, for instance.
Or a
thousands of
series, or thousands of toys from not very much.
Oh, fact.
But
Santa's elf thing.
But he says, hey, I done tried to break out of here like 3, 4, 5 times, and like I can't. I'm not strong enough for these candy canes. The big boys. They didn't use the little ones from the little toy packs. They used the big adult candy canes. I can't get out.
I understand. Listen, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to know I don't mean it condescendingly. This is a genuine question. They are real candy canes, right? Not like mock candy canes. Just lick your way out. It might take a while.
Boy, if I had a dollar, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not at your mom's house, so I gotta do what I can.
Damn, man, that is your mom joke to the guy you're asking to be let out of a cell. That is a bold move, man. I respect it.
Yeah, I've got no regrets, right?
Yeah, well,
shoot your shot.
Does he
you
have a
got at
tattoo
least
right
one
here?
because you're not getting let out of the cell. Well, that is a bummer.
All right, I tell you what. Santa Claus has got the key on him, right? He always keeps it. If you bring me the key and Santa's head, I'll give you 1,000 dragons off the top.
Bang, done.
We could get 1,500 dragons in one go.
I immediately, no hesitation. You're on. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Are there any other prisoners, Gareth?
I don't know. Are there?
The other regular sized cage is empty, and Gareth, you can't see inside the big cage, at least with a cursory inspection. You haven't gotten like into it yet.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before you do, Cerulean and Arnold and Mel, is there anything you want to ask the guard or any information you want? I just don't want to like have this be only Gareth. You know what I mean?
I want to know. I look at him and I say, "Honey, where does Santa Claus usually hang out in here?"
Well, this close to Wintertide, he spends a lot of his time in his office, filing important papers, dealing with the matters that pertain to the children's joy.
So who's naughty and nice?
That is, yes, he does have the list.
Um,
I think I've got a
Speaking of
crush
Blue-
on that voice.
I swear to God. Sorry, yeah.
Speaking of lists and kids that get toys, what's the purpose of giving all these toys? Are they gonna explode on Christmas Day or something?
Santa makes a very careful point not to tell us workers what he's doing. He's made it very clear that his plans pertain to him alone and that we are simply the doers.
I feel like that's not fair, and I feel like you should go on strike.
But you guys
At this, Arnold, are you still gripping this guy by the face by any chance?
No. I let him go.
All right, fine.
No, because while she's doing that, I kind of wanted to look around and see, like, are there pictures of Santa Claus or anything around? Is there like a giant portrait of him? Is there anything like?
Does he look like what we'd expect?
Yeah.
Is he wearing a hat?
You can't see any pictures or posters like that. Workstation is pretty sparse. It's just like a couple of pieces of paper. There's a large roster like piece of paper on one side on like a clipboard, but it only has one name on it.
Can we see it?
It's Dave. It's Dave Grinch.
It's just his name.
So the only person.
Oh wait, shit! No, it's the dude in the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the only dude. I got it.
So he's the only prisoner, is what he's saying.
See, what's actually fun is that me being dumb isn't like me being in character. That's just me, baby.
Spoiler alert.
Life is art. Unless you want to investigate that other cell, Gareth, we're moving along.
Rudolph the emo
I do want to ask Dave Grinch. I like point to the big boy cells. Like, what do they keep those for?
I got no fucking idea, bro. Those things was closed when I got in here. Every now and then this dude shows up with a goblet, and he slides it in there. There's like a little secret food door, and then the goblet comes out empty. That's it. No. I don't hear shit. I don't see shit. I think the Juggernaut's in there. You seen the Juggernaut, right? From Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, starring Ryan Reynolds.
What a hunk of man that guy is.
Fantasy Ryan Reynolds.
Nah,
Real
just
life
regular
Ryan
Ryan
He's
Reynolds.
already a fantasy.
I'd fuck the shit out of Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
That's the
I'm not
episode
ta-
title. Let's go.
That's not Gareth. That's just Garian.
No, I think that's
I-
all of us.
Anyway,
We're all asking for Ryan Reynolds for Christmas. Is that what this is?
What do you tell your charmed elf guard?
Hold on. First off, how long does this last for? An hour.
Oh, by the way, while you guys are walking around, do you are you like part of the staff? Because you don't look like us or talk like us. I mean, like he does, but he doesn't look like us.
So we're actually a part. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. We're a part of the toy auditing group.
Oh, word, yeah, tag. I've heard of them.
I love it. So
Do you have like badges and shit?
I am going to
Prestidigitation.
Ar-
Oh,
mhm.
damn it.
Arnold. Can you
Just tell him no.
Can you,
Why would we have badges? We're supposed to be secret. Like secret shoppers don't have fucking badges. No, we don't have badges.
CIA has badges.
Well,
Anyways,
I just
Mel,
opened up my-
tell me you say that in Elvish just because like fuck this guy.
I probably would, honestly. Like
Nope,
no,
that's what
we
we're
don't.
going with.
That
That's
is
what we're going with.
absurd.
Alright,
He
bet.
says, "Yeah, that's a really good point. All right,
so
you don't always need a clever solution."
That's why y'all are always doing some magic shit, coming up with disguises, putting on mustache, doing weekend at fucking Bernie's. Like, in 95% of the time, we could just walk the fuck in, but nobody listens to Mel.
I tried this time, and y'all just kept on screwing around with Frosty. Okay.
Alex,
I wanted that hat.
I have a quick question for future reference. Under languages, it says thieves can't. Is that like the Draconian secret language or like sign language or something?
No, it's a series of sigils that are left like scratched onto buildings.
Oh, like
it's
hobo
like
code.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. I am going to look at him and see if I can convince him to take a nap. So we can just peace out of here. So I'm gonna look at him. Leave me alone. I'm fine. Nothing's on fire.
Let's go.
I'm gonna look at him and say, honey, you have done so much hard work, and I know how appreciative Santa Claus is of you, even if he doesn't show it, and he's real bad at that. But you know what? I think you, like your little buddy behind you, I think you have earned yourself a good old nap. And you know what? Since I'm from Tag, I won't even tell anybody, and I'll cover for you. I'll tell Santa it was part of my inspection.
I really think that that's smart. And while you're telling Santa things, you should tell him to put his whole foot up his butt. I don't like the way he's treated us elves. But you're right. I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna wake up Bo Derek here, and I'm gonna take my shift. And he walks over to the other elf and starts like,
Dude, Santa's workshop is just fantasy Amazon.
It absolutely is.
When he turns around, I'm going to
Kill him.
tell. Can I grapple to knock him out?
You
Yeah,
already convinced him to take a nap. He's about to be unconscious anyway.
Give me one.
But he's going to get the other dude, bro.
Give me one strength check. Let's resolve this with one roll.
Yeah, 15.
Let's say,
Because I'm not trying to kill him, just trying to knock him out.
yeah, for the sake of the narrative, let's say you knock him out and he sort of like
So I'm
collapses
like-
like a sack of potatoes.
Well, no. I do it gently.
Sure.
I put him in a headlock and then just squeeze until he just goes night-night for a minute.
Gently squeeze.
Back
All right.
into potatoes.
We're gonna smash cut. We said cookie lab, right?
Wait, Gareth is still in the. He didn't look at the juggernaut.
And I don't intend to, quite frankly.
Yeah, there we go. Easy.
You think I'm
okay,
fucking
so-
with that? No.
The Santa's cookie lab or Santa's dookie lab, if you believe the signs,
I
is,
do.
behind a set of doors that look to be fully baked gingerbread with sugar panes cooked into them. One of which is a jar, and the smell of ginger and toasted cinnamon and clove wafts like a full 10 feet in front of these doors, almost like a coaxing aroma. Walking up to the doors, I imagine you all are going at least semi-stealthily. You can hear a frazzled sort of muttering coming from the other side.
Do I get there at the same time as them? Like, do I meet up with them at some point, or?
Yeah, I assume you guys go at least meet in the middle of this gingerbread village as a group so that you go to
Okay,
the next spot together.
Mhm. I'm gonna try to hear the actual like muttering. What kind of voice is? I'm gonna listen. Is it in Elvish or is it in Common?
On the other side of the door, you hear common being muttered. You don't recognize the voice. It appears to be a woman's voice, sort of like higher pitched, feminine presenting.
Mrs.
But
Claus.
you recognize the words, and they're saying like, "Why, you out of this fucking recipe? I told him once. I told him 600 times. You've got too much flour in here." I said, "Santa, there's too much flour in here." And he said, "Maria, you put some fucking flour in there." So I said, "Santa, this isn't gonna fucking work," etc. and so forth.
Maria.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Like Ave Maria?
Yes,
Keeping Christ in
exactly.
Christmas, baby.
So I am going to try to open the door
Okay.
quietly. I am going for like, I assume gingerbread doesn't squeak, but I am gonna try to do this stealthily.
It opens quietly,
Okay.
and you are looking at a bakery. Big
yeah.
Imagine.
marble tabletops, huge ovens that are clearly like brand new, red bricked, fire roasting. You see bags of flour heaped against one wall and like brown sugar with big shovels in it. There are big jars of spices. There's like cinnamon sticks and cloves and oranges lined up against one wall. And standing in the middle of all this, sort of surrounded by rolling racks laden with sheet trays, is a dwarf woman. Her hair is tied back into a ponytail that has long since escaped its bounds and is sort of like poofing outward. And she is elbows onto a table, holding her face, staring at a batch of cookies and muttering to herself.
Should I go for a round two?
Can I try and like sneak under, like steal a cookie?
I swear.
I also want a cookie though.
Yeah, then take the. Well,
Can we both?
fucking-
Can we all just look at the cookie, or anyone who wants to look at cookies? All right. But can this woman? Are we opening the door already? Did we?
Yeah, so
Oh,
you're
it's
in.
open.
You're in.
We're
There's
in
like
here.
there's like a little hallway leading into the bakery, so you're all there.
Right. Can she see us, or does she is she aware of our presence at all?
Depends. Do you reach for a cookie first?
No, I'm not gonna reach for a cookie first. I will distract her by saying hello so my friend can reach for a cookie for us.
Nice.
Hopefully.
She turns to you and says, A bunch of wise guys. What are you doing sneaking around my bakery? I'm busy. This is the day before Wintertide. Who are you?
I'm saying, I didn't mean to sneak in. Obviously, with the loudness and the saying hello. It's just like I'm just saying hi. I'm with them. We were sent in here by that guy up front. He said that you would give us some information about Santa Claus.
There's nobody up
with
front. What are you
Tag.
talking about? It's 9:30 at night. Everybody's gone home.
We're with Tag.
Yeah, she said we're with Tag. Are you aware of Tag?
What is Tag? Oh, yeah. The Tarrasque Association group. I get it. No, there's no Tarrasques here, bro. Like,
No, the other tag, the toy tag.
Toy auditing group? Toy auditing or
Yes, we're here to audit the toys.
Jesus, there's no way you guys rolled up in here the day before Wintertide to do an inspection. What are you, bored at home?
well, see, we got a tip off that maybe there was some malpractice going on. So we have to inspect.
Listen, it's taking every brain cell I got to keep up with these newfangled cookie recipes coming out of the boss's office. All right, I don't have time for your shenanigans. There's no toys in here. All right, this is a bakery.
All right, can you just point us to Mr. Claus's office and we'll be on our way? It'd be most effective just to talk to the head of the operation.
Yeah, you got it, bro. It's right that way by the sign that says Santa's Workshop.
And
Can
you know
read?
what
No.
would he actually can't. You know what would really help the score for your audit is if you gave us 4 cookies.
All right, which ones you want? You want the good ones or you want the boss's shitty ones?
How good of a score do you want?
All right, fair enough. So she reaches onto the sheet trays, which you can see are pre-laden with cookies, and she pulls off 4 cookies shaped like candle holders, and she hands them to you.
What a weirdly strange specific thing to shape a cookie after.
She says, "All right, these are my cookies. These are Maria Maccabee's cookies. You take these, you tell anybody who tries them, Maria Maccabee made them, not Santa Claus. Fuck Santa Claus's cookie. They suck." And she turns and points at the table, and she's looking at emerald Christmas tree cookies that are lining this table.
Do you mind if I have one just for comparison?
Mel, give me a perception check, please.
Ooh.
Being the only person that's not actively involved in this scene, you've got a little space to like look around. Well, I'll take investigation also if you'd like to do that. Whichever one's
What I'm
higher.
hearing is don't eat the cookie first.
They are super poison.
Yeah.
Once again, don't threaten me with a good set.
Golly.
16.
16. Okay. Mel, being
Have a
removed from this sort of like cookie conundrum,
Nice.
a couple of details in this room catch your eye. In one of the tucked between 2 flour sacks lining one wall, you see the glimmer of fire from one of these ovens reflect against a glass beaker. Behind a brown sugar basket, you see a handful of what look almost to be like clamps for holding things above, like what you would imagine like a fantasy Bunsen beaker. And the more you look around this bakery, the you see like at least 4 or 5 hints that there's also some kind of science going on here, some sort of fantasy science.
I mean, baking is kind of science, though.
Baking is a science. That's an exact good point, Gary. And if you make one more Breaking Bad reference in this show, I'm going to fire your ass.
He is going to break you bad.
Oh my gosh.
I suppose. I probably would say something. Much as Diana's like, fuck it, let's die. Mel would be just curious, not accusatory, just hey, I don't know a lot about baking. I know you might be surprised looking at me, but I actually don't know a lot about baking. What is, I'm just wondering what all that stuff is.
Yeah, what's up with all the polyurethane?
What's up with a beaker with a skull and crossbones on it?
She looks taken aback, Mel, and she says, "Oh, you would, huh? supposed to see that. I didn't I didn't know there was going to be an audit tonight. Listen, hey, maybe you guys can take a couple extra of the good cookies and you can just kind of forget what you saw here. I'm not. I listen. It's a lot. It's a long walk between here and the workshop. I don't want to have to keep trekking back for supplies from the boss's office. I'm just trying to work on his cookie rest of it. Like, listen, you get it. We're both cogs in the capitalist machine, right? Bunch of wise guys. Like, can you just cut me some slack? I'm sorry I was rude when you walked through the door. Like, that's on me. Maria McAfee's not a bad person. You can ask anybody. I don't know who you would talk to that knows me, but like I'm a decent gal. So just like, can you just give me something here?
I was gonna say, we will take the extra cookies. But also, I'm not saying I won't cut you. Look, I get it. There are some things in my past that there's a rumor I'm on the naughty list. I'm gonna have to take care of that later. I'm just curious now.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're old enough. Here, okay, taste this one. And she hands you a candlestick cookie.
Am I about to get high?
Gareth eats it, no hesitation.
It tastes
Saying, what's
like
in this cookie?
It tastes like
fantasy weed.
The sharp bite of clove, but then it mellows out into like a chocolate and orange flavor. And it's very delicious.
And approximately 30 minutes to an hour later.
And then she picks up one of the green Christmas cookies and holds it out and says, "All right, now one of you try this. Just one though."
Gareth eats it again without any hesitation.
Okay. You bite it. Similar flavor, very tasty. This one's more of like a peppermint and cocoa vibe to it. Mellows out into like a nice, almost like a tangy rhubarb. And she looks at you expectantly for a second, and as the seconds tick by, you start to feel like she's waiting for something. But as nothing happens, and you don't feel any sort of change in your mental state,
I just like keel over.
She says, like,
if you keel over, Mel is eating that cookie. Like,
maybe the boss's recipe is okay. Maybe. I mean, I still think it's too much flour. Like, straight up, it's just not. You tasted it, right? You tasted that it needed that little bit of sugar. It needed that little bit of caramelization.
I make some shit up. I'm like, oh yeah, like the flavor of it is there, but the texture is all over the place.
Listen, I understand that you guys are going to do your audit. I understand that I'm the bakery. I'm not part of it. So let me just say this. Let me just say that the boss has got plans with these cookies. The batch that goes out with Wintertide going to have cookies on them instead of those bullshit snow globes he's been throwing around like the fucking candy. Ironic, because I run the bakery. I've not been making them candy. I've been making them cookies. So the batch of presents that go out to all the orphanages tomorrow are going to have these cookies, and the recipe's got to be right. So I'm sorry. Hugs and kisses. You got to get the fuck out.
Do I see the recipe anywhere?
Wait, am I like? Did I miss? She never fucking explained what all the other shit was for? That or
yeah, correct. She notably did not.
Dumb
She's
as
like,
shit.
God damn,
Purposefully trying not to.
She hesitates and fiddles with the knot of her apron, almost a little anxiously.
Whoa.
And says, "Listen, I only seen the recipe once, okay? The boss made me memorize it. But just the ingredients, though. I didn't get to see everything else that was in it. He just made me memorize what's in the cookie. But like, he was really, really specific that the only people who could taste it were the adults. You know what I'm saying? Look, a couple of the workers that bring their kids to work because fucking, listen, I don't know if you know this, but after school care is fucking ridiculous as a cost expense in this town, right?
Yes,
so like a couple of the workers bring their kids here just for like daycare reasons or whatever. And he looked at me deep in my eyes. He said, "Hey, Maria McAfee." He used both my names. I don't know why. He said, "Hey, Maria McAfee, you fucking make sure that none of those kids try these cookies. But he's going to take them out tomorrow with all the presents, so I don't get it."
I'm right back to thinking there's drugs in those cookies.
Mel's just like hounding cookies.
I know, like, yeah, what is that? This is a fantasy edible right here.
Well, Maria McAfee, on our audit, you will get all check marks. You're welcome.
You literally just said I wasn't on your audit like 2 minutes ago. Am I on there or am I not on there?
We made
What an
you as
auditor
in
you
your
were on
warehouse.
there?
We made you as in
Yeah.
this establishment.
Cool. So I
Anyway,
have a
we're gonna
job
go
next
kill
year
your
as
boss.
mentioned.
What did you just say?
I didn't say that out loud.
We're gonna do a smash cut. Smash cut. To the left of Santa's workshop, there is almost immediately on the other side of this, there's like a little tunnel. You open into a room that is very clearly a set of stables lining one wall. You smell sharp hay and I don't know, the smell of whatever reindeers eat.
Holy crap.
Stables along the left, but on the right, there is a table and a single elf folding clothes. And there's actually a big pile of clothes that you can see as you round the corner. There's shirts on shirts and pants, and there's like shoes lining one wall. Who is going first?
Gareth will go first. Why
Gareth
not?
goes first. Okay. Gareth, give me a perception check as you walk into this room.
Okie dokie, artichoke. That is a not very high number. 9 plus 3 is 12.
12. Okay. You can hear the sound of rustling inside the stable. But that's all you can hear. But the elf woman looks up as you walk in and sort of like narrows her eyes at you and says, what can I help you?
She says this in common.
She says this in Elvish. Arnold and Mel are the only ones who understand her, but I didn't want to waste everybody's time. It was a
Oh, okay.
Waste everybody's time with a
please do.
I assume they're in the room with me. Just I was in first.
Yeah, you were just the leader this time around.
So she says it in Elvish. I assume Arnold translates.
Yeah. No, I'm translating. What exactly did you say? Or like what exactly are you?
She said, "Can I help you? What are you doing?"
So
here?
I just say exactly that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're looking for the reindeer or pandeer, maybe.
At Paindeer, her brow quirks even lower. And her eyes, Arnold, you actually catch this, being the person that I imagine paying attention to her face. Her eyes dart towards the stables. And she says, there's just reindeer here. I think that was Bruno and his boys having some fun with the sign. You're not you don't work here. So I'm very curious.
We're with Tag.
So
The Tarask Association organization?
No, not the damn Tarask. So why does everyone think we're with the
Every single
fucking
time.
Tarasks?
The toy auditing. What did I
Group.
say?
We're the toy auditing group. We're here to make sure that none of the toys are getting into the stables because they could be a choking hazard for the rain and or reindeer.
Damn, that is the coldest logic Gareth has exhibited in 3 full months of this show.
And a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
He says, yeah. Okay. Our reindeer are in there, and they're fine. So you can just sort of take my word for it. No toys in here.
Yeah,
so-
that's definitely how audits work. We just walk in and we take people's word for shit and we walk out. Yeah, figured us out.
Yeah, let me just hit this checkbox on my clipboard here. The take word for it box. Word taken.
Damn, moving on to the next.
Hey, Arnold, why don't you go take a look at these reindeer pandeer?
I would just love for the rest of this show ad infinitum if somebody says that to do the reference to the classic Hey Arnold cartoon. Yeah, that one. Just if we're gonna do it, let's do it big. Anyway, sorry, Arnold, what are you up to?
Well, just because we haven't had a lot of opportunities, I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth on this and just do it because.
Dope.
What the hell?
Bang.
All right.
I'm just gonna cast Zone of Truth in the area at her, specifically.
He's been sitting on Zone of Truth this whole fucking time. Son of
He
a
had
I
it
had to wait. I couldn't be like,
What
let's get
the-
the sleepy elf and this.
He
Seems
had
like,
it. No, this is
Like,
a
but
good
like maybe if
opportunity.
you'd mentioned it, we wouldn't have done all the. It's fine.
I like the
Arnold.
other stuff. That's all. So,
In his
Yeah, me-
defense, we have a
me
really
too,
good habit
baby.
of talking over him.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
I
Zone
have
of
to
Truth,
talk over. It's the only way
Charisma
people
13.
fucking hear me.
That's a good fucking point, bestie. I rolled a 12. Devastating.
Okay, yeah.
Not very
All right.
charismatic.
Does she know that Zone of Truth has been casted?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna say, this is part of our audit, and I was like,
Yeah, we
okay.
actually
here we
have
go.
the Zone of Truth
Let's say
work,
we have those-
if you need.
That's another box that Gareth checks off.
Gareth can't fucking read. Why the
Well,
fuck does he
I
have
love
the
the- I
clipboard?
love the
Literally,
thought that
if you look at the clipboard I have, it's just like incoherent scribbles.
Just doodles
Yeah,
of little
yeah.
like candy canes.
I was gonna say it's just Gareth's hand, but he's just like okay. So she grimaces a little bit. Is like, kind of curious that you're not asking for consent before casting that spell, but sure, I guess. All right.
Do auditors typically ask for consent to audit?
Yes, that's kind of the whole shebang. What can I do for you?
Yeah, just lead us to the rain/painter, please.
She hesitates. For a not inconsequential amount of time. I think she hesitates for a full 5 seconds before she sets down the shirt that she's been folding, and gestures and shows you over. Inside the stables is a very curious scene. There are
5 dead reindeer.
There are 4 reindeer
That are no longer in pain.
Golly. There are 4 reindeer that are eating from a bale of fresh hay. Their skin is, or their fur, I should say,
Skin?
is deep, deep black.
So yes to the emo reindeer.
And as they turn to you, their eyes are bright red.
Fuck yeah, hard.
Their
Through the red
antlers,
nose.
their antlers are like a bleach bone white. And as you approach the sort of like confines of their stable, 2 of them snarl at you, Gareth. And their lips
Snarl back.
Their lips peel back from their teeth, and you see their teeth have been sharpened.
Well, that's fucked up.
Can I do a perception roll to see if they have been sharpened or if they are naturally sharp?
Ooh, I think that would actually be a nature roll, and I might suggest that the ranger drop one of those bad boys because she's got a natural
Fair enough.
proclivity for.
That is a
Wild
great
beasts.
suggestion.
I don't think I realized these reindeer were like bringing the pain. 21.
Ooh, all right, Bestie. These are natural creatures. They have not been altered or magicked in any way. I think being an elf from the forest specifically, you wouldn't have seen these. You might have heard of them, specifically from your mentor who had ranged the mountainous wilds. There is a subspecies of reindeer from a very remote region of the mountains that grow black fur and have red eyes to see better in the dark, and they are known for their vicious tempers. And there's no better way to say it. Sharp teeth for flesh rending.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and carnivorous behavior, perhaps.
They their link has been associated with remote villages of groups of people that have found ways to like live, not necessarily among these reindeer, but like in close association with them.
But they don't like use them to as like, I don't know, guard reindeer or anything.
You've never heard of one kept in a building like this.
Have we
Not
heard
domestically.
of 8 being used to pull a sled?
I'll tell you what, you haven't, but Mel, doing this sort of recalling, you notice standing at the edge of the stable, 2 of their 4 limbs are actually shackled.
Good. Great.
There's also one more detail in the stable that you have not noticed until you're standing there. I think Cerulean notices this one, being the well, you'll see why. pressed up against one wall, the very, very back of the stable, are two humanoid figures who are literally pressed against the wall, shaking in fear, staring at these reindeer.
Yeah, that's the Rangers' lunch, motherfucker. Hell
Oh
yeah.
man.
It is a human woman, probably in her early 20s, and a younger human boy.
Well, fuck those people.
You know
Have
how
lunch.
you give
They
like
see in
you
the
know how you
dark?
give live rats to snakes?
Hold on.
Well, just-
Is it relatively dark in here?
It is
Because-
quite dark in here.
Okay, I'm gonna cast dancing lights into the reindeer's eyes.
Don't do that. What the
Right.
fuck? That sounds
Yeah,
like a,
piss them off, Cerulean. Good
that
plan.
sounds,
They
no
can't
offense. That sounds
see.
like that sounds like a terrible idea that will startle the shit out of these like aggressive.
I mean, I can see, so
Yeah, we have
there's
two people with
trust
dark vision.
here.
Are they within 5 feet of them?
Of the reindeer?
Mm.
No, it's probably closer to like 7 to 10. You can tell. So the reindeer are shackled to like the there's like a central stake in the stables that allow them to meander sort of like towards the hay and elsewhere. And the humans are pressed what you would imagine to be exactly 8 feet away from that central stake. The only place in the stable where they're allowed to roam, or there is a safe space from where the reindeer can roam.
Yeah,
Is-
outside
Is
diameter.
the person that let us in still like hanging?
So as the
'Cause
elf
I got questions.
the elf attendant notices Cerulean noticing, and babbled explanations rush to her lips, and she says, "Oh yeah, they're in there. They're the attendants to the
She's
reindeer.
still in
They're-
zone of truth though, so she has to be
Oh
telling the
shit,
truth.
she is. Fuck. Then she doesn't say anything.
Cerulean goes, what are those people in there for?
There is a very curious moment where you can see the muscles in this person's face trying to keep the words on the inside. And she goes, that's terrible audio. For the audio only listeners, I'm moving my mouth a lot.
Love you to death, audio listeners. We love you.
But
Spotify.
finally she spits out, they're going into the portal.
The fucking what? Holy shit!
What?
Oh,
Portal?
The boss is gonna kill me.
Well, I'm going to if you don't explain what the portal is.
Listen, it's not as bad as it sounds.
It sounds pretty bad. You got
Sounds
carnivorous
cool
deer
as
in there
hell.
with 2 people pressed up against the wall, and now you say they're going through a portal.
Listen, the reindeer are just there to like scare them, okay? Like it's not that big. They get paid at the end of it, okay? A gold dragon a piece. When was the last time you made a gold dragon?
Literally
Today.
yesterday, I own an establishment.
What
Okay,
the
sorry, I didn't
fuck
realize
is
I
a
was dealing with the
reindeer gonna do with a fucking?
I made 5
Money.
gold.
The people against
Oh.
the wall.
I made 5 gold dragons on the way here because I mugged somebody.
What?
Wow. Well,
That's not Garrett. That's me in real life.
Okay, cool. She says, listen, it's not all bad, right? So I've heard it's a short-term scenario. They only work for a couple of weeks.
what
with
in the world is
with
the
the
portal?
gnomes? You haven't been to the workshop yet, have you?
No.
You should go check out the workshop.
I feel like you should let these people out of here. Because-
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think you should keep them in here. Actually,
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm
I mean if
um,
it'll get you out of here and on your way and leaving me alone, I'll
It
I'll
won't.
go out right now.
Because I'm having pain deer. I mean, that's in violation of the toy
so many
auditing.
codes.
Why would you have these creatures here?
What purpose do they serve?
Listen, so the boss has been affecting all these new measures, right? To cut
Gareth,
costs.
write this
and-
down.
it's just scribbles.
The boss has been implementing like all these new measures to cut costs, and The ice gnomes have been doing a good job keeping up, but it's the busy season, and wintertide is tomorrow. So he said he needed a supplemental labor force. So it's just me and a couple other people. We go out, we find
Hobos.
wanderers,
Hobos.
maybe, and we offer them a gold dragon each, and that's more than a wanderer sees in their whole life. For I think it's like 6 weeks worth of work.
The job, and what is the purpose of the pain deer?
Yeah, what's with the pain deer?
Just
The boss uses them to fly around the city. He thinks it's cool.
It is pretty cool.
But why are those people that are here for 6 weeks in a pen?
Oh, because they're not here for 6 weeks. They're here for about 4.5 hours, and then they go somewhere else for 6 weeks.
Like,
I
eaten?
really feel like you should go to the warehouse. That's going to answer a lot of your questions.
Okay, well, release these people to me, please. I don't know how you need to wrangle your deer.
She has a pair of keys like on a lanyard, and she's like, zoop! And she walks in. There's a separate door on the other side of the stables, 9 feet away from the pain deer. And she unlocks the door and she says, "Come on." And the two figures pull out, and the older girl looks at you and says, "Oh gosh, thank you so much. We were so scared. My name's Geraldine."
Okay, Geraldine. Are there any more of you that are?
No, it's just me and my brother Tim. You can see he's got a broken leg and he's got crutches. We call him Tiny Tim.
I hate to hear.
I swear to God.
Geraldine and Tiny.
Listen,
I
this
will
is a
give
holiday special.
I will give you both a gold dragon to get the heck out of here.
Done.
Okay, go. Yeah, not.
Cool.
I like
And then
Why-
Gareth rolls
why
the sleight of
actually-
hands and picks their pockets and seals it back. No, I'm kidding.
Merry Christmas to all. Okay,
It's
so like I low-key kind of want to let these they're animals, right? I can speak with animals. Can I speak with these pain deer?
Ooh. Sorry for the pigeon.
You absolutely can. You also hear a pigeon in the rafters. Fuck yeah, Bessie. No, you can absolutely speak with animals. What do you ask?
I want to okay, how do I want to word this? First, I want to let them know that I'm not here to hurt them. And I've heard about them, and I know that y'all don't usually live in captivity like this. What happened? Do you want to be here?
Speak with animals is a curious spell, mainly because like they're not gonna look at you and talk. So for the purposes of this scene, let's assume a sort of telepathic communication, as well as maybe some body language if we get there. But one of them looks at you and says, "Get me the fuck out of here. Hello? Are you talking to me right now? Bro, listen to me. If you open this door, I will only eat 3/4 of you. I swear to sweet Christ, I've been in here for 7 years. Not really, but it feels like that long. Please
Yeah, no, I
open the
feel
door."
that in my soul. You can't eat any of us.
Done. Fine. I'll eat somebody else outside. I got it.
Yeah,
Please let me out.
outside, you go eat to your heart's content outside. You gotta leave. No, leave us alone. I don't want to see the eating happen.
We're just gonna let it out on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Excuse me, Wintertide Eve.
We're all about.
Listen, if she's
self-preservation.
gonna be like that, you can eat her. I'm just kidding. Don't.
What did I tell you? Total party kill. Thank you.
I'ma
Yeah,
let
no,
him out.
it is fully, it agrees to whatever you say. Val.
Sweet. How do I let him out?
The keys on this elf's belt,
Yeah, I'm gonna need those.
she hands them to you. There's a lock on the central peg in the stable. and going to unlock it, you actually like you pull the keys, and then the elf sort of like scoots awkwardly with you because they're attached to her belt. And you go ahead.
I was gonna say just one last thing before I unlock it. Is there anything else that we need to know about this place?
So like, okay, so I can't eat use, right? I can't eat use. That's these guys, they're off limits, right?
Correct.
And I gotta, all right. Nah, you got it all. I guess you stole the snacks. That's fine. You're gonna open the door. You're gonna let us out. Fine. You get the snacks. But like, we gotta go.
No kids.
What'd she say?
She doesn't want you to eat children.
Ignore it. It's fine.
Which ones are children? Are those the big ones or the small ones?
Small.
Small
How
ones.
how small?
You know what? I'm not worried about you. Before you eat them, you just ask how old they are. Okay.
Excuse me. Before I eat you, can I see some ID?
Exactly. You're gonna have to card them. It's fine. It's we own a bar, so
Can I ask
we're really
the
used to
elf-
carding people.
Can I ask the elf one last thing while she's still under zone of
Gnome.
Gnome.
No, it's an
No,
elf.
it is an elf.
Oh, it was an elf? I thought you said it was a gnome woman.
No, Dave
No, it's
Grinch
an
is a gnome.
Correct.
Who was?
Dave Grinch.
Dave Grinch. Go ahead, Gareth.
Sorry.
Yeah, one last thing here on our checklist. Does your boss, Mr. Santa Claus, does he have anything that could be considered a weapon on his person? Just for safety hazards.
Besides the man eating reindeer,
Well,
Do
we're gonna
you
let
think he
those go.
carries one on his person?
I don't know his life.
Great
She
point.
says, I'm gonna go with, yeah, he's wicked dangerous. You should not cross that man on a whim.
Good to
Sweet.
know.
We're
All right.
definitely gonna kill Santa.
Mel, you unlock the pain
Wait,
deer and you hear the sort of like gentle slither as these iron shackles release, and they test their footing, sort of like feeling that they actually have mobility for the first time. And the one you're speaking to looks at you and says, hey, in case you need it, my name's Xanda.
Xander.
You said we couldn't eat use, right? Use
Correct.
for?
Correct.
In a flash, all three of these reindeer, rip this elf woman apart. Like, it is
I saw that coming, real talk.
it's pretty brutal.
That's why I wanted to get that last question in before she was inevitably. I said, like, while she's still in zone of truth. I meant while she was still in one piece.
While she's still in a land of living.
It's good that you got it in there because she's in several pieces really quickly. They make
I
quick work of
said
her.
I didn't want to see you guys do the eating.
Too late.
There's
Can I take it for
a
keys?
moment, and actually, as Xander turns back to you, and he actually reveals those wide white teeth and almost like a smile, and he says, "Ha, did niches," and then he and the other reindeer like,
Got a point there.
smash cut. Santa's workshop. As you walk down the hall, it opens into a long, tall, great hall. What used to be what you assume to be like a packing center has now been overcome with the seething tide of industrialization. It is alive with conveyor belts and pieces of like machinery grinding and clicking. Against either wall moving down, you see curious glowing blue portals punched into the wall at various intervals, with conveyor belts feeding in empty and feeding out fed with gleaming gold and purple and red, green parcels that are dropped gently into velvet sacks lining the aisle.
Getting big Polar Express vibes.
As you walk down this central aisle, walking past these portals, you can actually feel the air of the warehouse chill as a freezing blast of wind blows out through the wall towards you, far colder than it has any right to be. As you actually passing one of the particularly larger ones, you see a curious scene. You see a dark hillside coated in snow and whipping with like this the breeze of like strong blizzard. And a couple of like what look like the sides of unlit houses way off in the distance. But your attention is actually drawn by what looks to be like a foreman's office, sort of like at the end of this hall, put up high on the wall with like a staircase leading up to it. And there's a sign that says Santa Claus's office in like big sort of like festive letters, painted gold.
Is there a
Right.
window like the?
There are a series. There's like a series of windows, sort of like a big wall made of tiny windows, but they're all sort of like gently gold illuminated with like you can't really tell anything from them.
Real talk, I think we got to take this opportunity now to plan out how exactly we're going to kill Santa Claus. Because first of all, I want to eliminate any and all dialogue. I don't want him to try and like convince us to help him instead of Fanny. We're going to cut off his head, give it to Dave Grinch, and then all of our problems will be solved, I think.
Aw, we should have asked a reindeer to eat Santa.
Oh, fuck.
All right, Gareth asked a question. Everybody respond.
Can I use an ice knife?
An ice knife? Is that like an icicle?
It's a spell, a knife made of ice. Flashes
So
out of my hand,
yes.
and there's an explosion, so we can't be within 5 feet of him. That gives him additional damage as well. Also,
Wait,
I
is
thought it
that
would
the
be fitting.
plan? Gareth wanted to discuss the plan. Or
I
are
mean,
you
I
just going
do-
balls to the wall?
I do now I think it's 3d6 damage on sneak attack. So
Arnold, what's your play?
Good question. I only have a 1 attack spell. Otherwise, I have a crossbow, and I can sing you guys songs. So you're really good at what you do. So who was this Grinch guy? Like, are we sure? Like, he's our hero in this one. Like,
no, but he offered to pay me.
Okay, that's true. So you get money, and we get money from the other one. This is good.
1,500 gold.
Yeah.
Listen,
And we definitely want to murder Santa Claus. I mean, he did have murder deer, right? He had the pain deer.
I mean, he's basically
then-
fantasy Jeff Bezos.
That's what I'm
so-
saying, yeah.
yeah, he seems pretty evil. All right, let's okay. I will do everything I can. Basically, I only have a 1 spell and a
But, like
little...
Gareth logic is like the CEO of Tobacco and Toys is a paying customer at Troll Skull, and I've never seen Santa come into our establishment.
I mean,
and
Fanny McGuckian has spent at least some money on cider wine.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
least some money.
I'll kill them both. I don't give a fuck.
I would like for us to get out of view of these windows, these foreman's windows. I would like for us to start.
We're
to
just like in
sneak-
full view of Santa.
Right.
So how are we gonna kill this guy?
Yeah, right. So we
All right.
can't see him, but it might be a 2-way or like a 1-way mirror situation. So I'd like for us to try to sneak towards the stairs, if that's
All
a
right.
good plan with everybody.
Sure. There's nobody in the room, so sneaking is fairly straightforward. You assume.
I just mean like hug the walls, not in
Sure,
right.
yeah. Like
you know.
keep to the peripheries. I got you.
Yeah.
You get to these stairs, and you actually manage to get up them. They're well built, so there's no squeaking. There's no like telltale signs. And sort of before you know it, Gareth has the door handle to Santa's office in his hand.
Can
Can I
I
prepare a
see
spell?
into the office at all?
No, it's one of those windows where like it's like a bathroom window where it's intentionally like textured to like
Yeah, like
prevent you
super
from seeing inside.
frosted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ready a spell?
Of course.
I'd like to ready ice knife and
That's a
I
weird
want to cast
spell.
disguise self and make myself Fanny McGuckian.
Oh, just come in there like banging on the door, and then I sneak up behind him and shove an ice.
Yeah, Mel's just walking
can
in.
Arnold can Arnold do disguise self
Well,
and
I-
be Fanny McGuckian?
Yeah.
I was thinking about disguising himself and becoming someone that he actually, would be friends with or, expect to see in his office, right?
Well,
to-
I could see Fanny just like walking up and bringing it to his front door.
I wish he would, but
I want to know what the beef is.
Ooh, and then we could know what the beef is. But
Yeah.
which one of like Santa's friends would he be like tight with that he would like gossip to?
Mrs. Claus.
It's like it's the Easter Bunny.
We haven't seen Mrs. Claus though, right? Oh.
No, you have not.
Yeah, we have not.
Arnold just disguises like the Easter Bunny and Santa goes like, ah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, would Santa be close with any of the people we've already met? Probably not. They were mostly
They all
workers
seemed
who hated
scared of him.
right? They
Arnold, you know I'm not going to answer that question.
Of course you're not.
You get this guy as Dave
He's
Grinch.
talking to us, and we say no. They all seem kind of afraid of him, and like they just work for him.
Do you guys? Okay, so the Frosty outside seemed like a guard, but does he look like the kind of creature who could get inside here, or is that so unusual? Or do I know enough about that kind of creature at all to be able to?
I'll answer that unless you're asking your party specific.
No, I'm asking you. Like,
Okay. You, being an arcane person, you're relatively familiar with guarding spells, and they are mostly region locked. And the region that they guard is usually fairly small.
Okay.
Guarding an entire complex like this with one being would take a very, very strong spell.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone. I will look like Fanny just to do it, and why not? So
You have to do the voice too.
You do have to do the voice. If I have to do it, you have to do it.
Wait, what was it? How was
I
your
don't
voice?
remember it.
It was like a little bit of this.
An old lady?
We started as 6 factories, and it's taken us down to 2.
3.
3.
well, now it's 2 by the end.
Continuity.
It's not
Okay, so
suit.
So I cast Disguise Self, and I look exactly like the Fanny.
All right, everybody, you see Arnold sort of like, I imagine he does sort of like an 80s sort of like Vogue.
Yeah.
And his face sort of like ripples and shifts, and suddenly he has like gray shot hair pulled into a very frazzled ponytail, and his cheekbones sharpen, and suddenly you were looking at Fanny McGuckian standing in the midst of your party.
Mel's gonna hang back, but she is gonna be like low key ready to shoot if need be.
Okay.
Can
Are you
I?
gonna? Hang on a second, Diana. Are you gonna ready in action specifically, like have an arrow?
Oh, is that a
pulled?
thing?
Yeah.
That is a thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't want to be like very visible. I just want to be
Okay.
like I just kind of want to have his back because Santa managed to imprison Pain Deer. So I'm not really sure how this is gonna go, especially because he doesn't seem to really like Fanny that much. So I just want to be ready to save Arnold's life.
Perfect.
I am gonna ready ice knife. So I'm just gonna be chilling out with an icicle in my hand.
All right, Arnold, it's you and me.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
And Garrett. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't opened the door because is there? Can I try to find an alternate way into the office? A window, a vent, or something?
I mean, there's one door. I mean, like
Okay.
the shitty answer, Gareth, is no.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
that's fine. Follow up question: does the door open inwards or outward?
So you push and pull a little bit, and it actually swings outward just a little bit.
Okay, so when I open the door, can I kind of like? I'm hitting my mic. Sorry, hold on.
What's
Like,
Arnold up with?
Hey, Garrett.
I obviously
before
I wanted to look like Fanny was the one who like knocked on the door. So I want to basically, when he comes to open the door, be hiding so that when he opens the door, it covers me. If that makes sense.
Okay, Arnold.
I just want to ask a quick. How tall is the door? Is it like standard door size, or is it like shorter, tall?
No, it's standard like person sized.
So okay. My idea is I just want to cast the minor illusion to look like a door, so Gareth can open the door and we can just see what is going on inside without him knowing that we're looking at the inside.
So you want to cast a door behind this door, so Gareth can open the real door, so you can look through the fake door.
Yep. That's exactly what I want to do.
Insane.
That's sick.
Fuck yeah.
All right, cool. I'm into it. Yeah, you cast minor illusion to cast a door. Gareth, you pull open the door, and you are now essentially looking through a one-way mirror that Arnold has sort of like created.
That's
You're
super.
so cool. Okay.
Fucking mad props for imagination on
So
that one.
sick.
So you are looking at the messiest office any of you have ever seen. There is
You
a
haven't
desk
seen my office. Christy.
Cerulean's
desk-
OCD is twitching.
overflowing with paper. It is falling off of an in and an out box. It is packed on the desk. It is sliding off in tiny blizzards all over this
I'm
office.
feeling really
There-
attacked right now.
there are cork boards all over the walls with like little pins and red twine, and there's a big map of Waterdeep with little circles drawn on it. Along one wall on the left-hand side, there's a whole bookshelf packed with snow globes. But your attention is drawn by a figure sort of bent over the desk, muttering to himself, almost in like a sing-song voice. He is wearing a deep crimson coat and pants cut with white fur and a dangly hat with a little ball over it. And his face is framed by a jolly white beard as he sort of like sings songs to himself while drawing on a piece of paper.
Rather jolly for a murderer.
Aren't they all?
We don't actually know if he's a murderer.
No, I am the opposite of jolly.
Good point.
I was just thinking, he fed people to deer.
We don't know that.
Well, we don't know that. Yeah.
Arnold, you're in the driver's seat here.
Okay. So. This is terrible because he doesn't look like a murderer. I mean, he is a Jeff Bezos type.
It's fine. You're not the one doing the killing here.
I'm not doing the killing. So essentially, I'm gonna say.
Wait, should I close the door because you can't knock on the
No,
fake
no. I think we should just leave the door like that.
Well, no, because then if he goes to open the fake door, then
I think he's gonna fall through it, and it's gonna scare him, and then we can murder him, right?
Okay, I'm gonna close the door.
All right, close the door. I'll get
All
right.
right.
It's
Door's
a real
closed.
door again.
I'm gonna move out of the way.
Door, just like. Poof, poof, poof.
So I'm hiding in place with my fucking knife ready.
Yeah, everybody's got their ready to actions.
Around here, old man.
Arnold, you hear a ho ho ho, who's there?
You know exactly who it is. And I just keep on banging on the door.
There's a pause, and then he goes, Fanny McGuckian.
That's Miss McGuckian. Do you get out here immediately, you jolly so-and-so?
All right, you hear slow, methodical footfalls coming up to this door, and the door handle turns, and it swings open, and you are looking at the red-cheeked face of Santa Claus himself, happy and joyful to see an old friend, and he says, Fanny! Who wants to roll damage first?
Me. You see what you're trying to do? Trick us? No, I'm still stabbing him.
Let's see. Gareth rolls, Mel rolls, and Cerulean. You're gonna
hold
hold
on.
action.
Before we do this, how badly do we want to hear about the beef between these two? In terms of combat, I'm going to be the one making the first move.
Okay, so we can. All right, so let's do this. Let's just say that we're all holding until Gareth attacks first.
Down
Fair?
with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and now above table, do we want to hear about the beef between these two?
100% yes.
Okay,
Storytelling, yes.
Then I'm gonna hold off on stabbing him for now.
All right. He says, Fanny, who is standing behind Arnold? Because only one of you hid themselves.
Me and Mel, but I hid behind the door. Mel,
I hid myself.
Okay, so he looks at Cerulean immediately, and Arnold, you see a.
But you didn't say you hid. You're not stealthy, girl. You're just.
I was the
stealthy.
only one that said I've moved out of eyesight of the door way ahead of time.
No, you're not. I definitely said that I am stepping. I don't want to be seen. I'm moving to the side. You're not stealthy,
when you
girl.
play it back, you're gonna hear it.
I believe you fully, and I'll be wrong then too. But he looks at Cerulean, and Gareth, Arnold, you see just it's like a split second of a flicker, and then Santa Claus is back, baby. Who's this?
I'm Miss Fanny's friend, who she's brought with her just to make sure that the suck it Fanny isn't a little more vindictive.
Oh, you mean my little joke, of course. Come on in. Would you like some cocoa? The elves make a mean cocoa.
No, I'm fine.
Don't go in. Bring him out.
I feel like we should talk
inside.
out here. We should talk out here.
On the staircase?
Yeah, well, I don't feel comfortable in a space that I'm not familiar with, and I'm familiar with the staircase. Thank you.
Well, how about the factory floor? I'm a bigger guy, as you see. It's a little awkward on a staircase.
Fuck it. I jump him.
Oh gosh. Tell us everything you know.
All right, Gareth, roll to attack.
All right, this is a sneak attack, baby.
Yeah, first one of the campaign, actual.
There's no to hit bonus, so it's only damage bonus, right?
Dude, I mean, should you get it? You for sure get advantage because like you have suckered this person and he is super flanked. So roll twice, take the higher of the two.
Fuck
Super
yeah.
funny.
What's my? It's +6. Hell yeah, badass. The first one is a 13 +6 is 19. Second one is a 17 +6, 23.
All right, what are you attacking with? Short swords?
Yeah, my short sword.
Okay. You leap onto Santa Claus's back and you grab his jolly white beard with one hand and you slam your
Just
short sword
slit his
into
throat.
his chest with the other.
Fuck yeah.
Mel, do you want to roll damage? Because this is the triggering sort of like thing that we agreed on.
Should
Yeah,
I?
I would clearly wrongly assume, but I would assume that that Garrett said that for a reason, that he's standing right there. He must have heard or seen something. So I would react, and we'll have words later, Gareth, about your lack of impulse control. But for now, I would assume something
Gonna murder
happened.
Santa.
So-
Bestie, roll that sweet attack for me, please.
Okay, real talk above table, and like Loki, don't put this in the episode. That was a questionable decision on my part, and I don't know how I feel about it. I have still yet to roll my damage, by the way, so let me know when you need that.
I will.
21.
Damage?
Oof.
Oh
No, to hit.
To hit.
Oh, okay, okay.
Both of you roll damage.
Okay, we got
No,
a
sorry.
3, a 4,
8,
and another 3.
7, 10. 10, all right. Mel.
I just rolled a 8, right? And then
Yeah.
add on to it.
Mhm.
8.
With the bonus?
Yeah, I rolled a 5 and then I give it.
Jesus God.
I've heard
that's-
that before.
That's so much damage. Okay.
Fuck you, Santa. And your fucking snowman and his magic hat.
Gareth, you feel your short sword punch through this guy's frame.
Dude, I really hope he's mean. Fuck.
And for a split second, there's like a curious resistance to your blade. Mel, you shoot an arrow. Let's say you are hidden like above the door or whatever. And you send your arrow straight into this guy's back, like right near his spine. And his whole body shakes, as you've seen happen countless times as you've murdered people before. And he rocks, and there's almost like a that like expels from his lungs.
His final hoe.
Yeah.
Boy, if I had $1.
God bless.
And he looks at you, Arnold, and his eyes are sort of like pained. And he goes, Fanny.
They suck it, Santa.
And he rocks backward. Gareth, you leap off before he collapses.
Yeah, before he squishes me.
Right. And he
There's
falls, and there's like a
something.
reverberating thud as he falls just in front of the door of this office. And there's a pause as you all stare at the fallen form of dead Santa Claus who you killed, murdered Santa Claus. You guys killed Santa.
Fuck you, Santa.
And then
God,
just
I
like that
hope he's
movie
mean.
Alien, there's a writhing inside that deep red cloak cut with white.
I've
And
never
there's
seen
a
Alien.
pressing against the inside of the coat. And with a horrible, sickening squelch of torn
No.
flesh.
Ew.
No.
Is this like one of those Dark Souls enemies where it like starts to writhe and you should probably like kill it before it turns into some otherworldly Lovecraftian horror?
There is a bursting motion and you hear a voice say, "Son of a bitch! Are you joking me right now?"
Are you shitting my dick?
And you look inside, and crawling out of what you now see to be an artificed Santa suit is a thin, balding old man wearing like an undershirt and like ratty gray boxer shorts. He's got a thin, like miserable scruff of a beard clinging to his face, and there are like deep shadows under his eyes. And he jabs a finger at you, Arnold, and he goes, "Fanny, are you fucking kidding me?"
Gareth like points at him and goes, "I knew all along you were fake. I knew from the very beginning."
You came in here and killed me?
Only a little.
Well, I feel like she probably had a good reason. Why don't you tell us what it is?
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I only thought there was like a couple of you, but now there's more. So don't kill me.
You're kind of too late.
Well, then
Don't
talk.
kill me again.
Ah, fair.
Look, I'm just here to keep Fanny safe. And there was a flicker on your face. I feel like my friend read. So he hopped on your back.
I really read your emotion there. Left into action.
So he backs into the office just a couple of steps, not fleeing, but like getting some space from you. And he says, "Well, now if I tell you everything, will you promise not to kill me? Especially you, the shooty one."
I feel like we can potentially make that an arrangement as long as Miss Fanny here comes to no harm as well.
Hey, I stabbed you in the head.
I also
did
would
something.
like a magic hat.
He has his hands up, and he looks at you, Arnold, as Fanny. And his eyes are really, really intense. They're actually like a brilliant, like a beer bottle green. And he says, "Fanny, do you recognize me?"
Oof.
You're the skeleton of Santa Claus over here who ruins my life, apparently. What is this?
I knew it. I knew you were a hateful old woman. You don't recognize me?
No.
Johnny Jingles? Your first ever secretary? You fired me, Fanny. I was late to work one time, and you canned my ass.
Oh,
lot of
Fanny's
people are
Jeff
work-
Bezos.
Fanny's the Jeff Bezos.
Capitalism, baby.
We are, yeah.
To be fair, like everybody
Everybody's-
in capitalism. We could have killed Fanny, we could have killed Santa, we still would have been the good guys.
Probably still
You know
can.
what? I have an idea that will involve a lot of gold for everyone, mostly us.
You know what? I'm just gonna cut the illusion. I'm just gonna cut it and
Nice.
say sorry.
Ooh,
I'm gonna cut it and be like, look, I don't know who you are. We were sent here because you're ruining someone's life. You're clearly not Santa Claus because Santa Claus is jolly. You're evil. What is this? What is happening here?
Hey, you're not Fanny. What
No,
the
he's not.
fuck?
And you're not Santa Claus. Like, what? Neither of us. We were both inside.
We're
of the-
all liars.
Yeah.
At this
Um,
point, Gareth reveals he's actually 3 raccoons in a jacket.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He says, look. Now hang on a second. I bet Fanny sent you, right? Probably offered to pay a pretty penny.
It's
I'll give you-
client confidentiality.
I'll give you 3 times what Fanny said she'd give you if you just
Done.
walk out of here right now.
Done.
You give us 4
$1,500?
times what she said.
Wait,
and
hold on.
explain to us why she wanted to give you that. Why she wanted to kill you, and we'll let you live.
You give us the money and let us keep the fake Santa head.
Gareth, actually, as you say that, you turn and the artificer suit is slowly bubbling into nothing.
God damn.
Ew.
His eyes are focused on Arnold, because Arnold is the person that crawled out of fake Fanny. And he says,
I hate that.
Crawl right out of
um,
that thing. Sorry.
I said what I said 3 times what Fanny offered to pay you. Listen, she's a hateful woman. Did you know that she sells vapes to kids? I'm giving kids free toys. Come on now. For Wintertide. For the
You assume we
spirit of
like
Wintertide.
kids.
Hold on. Okay, time out. You say you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, but what's with the cookies? What's with the murder deer? And what's with Mr. Grinch in the freaking sales?
In the
Cerulean
portal.
Literally,
The
literally
fuck was
cannot
the
help herself. She's
portal?
like, quest. Sorry. All right,
Sorry.
let's take these questions one at a time. Cerulean, give me one of them.
Okay. So you say you're all for the freaking joy of Christmas, whatever. What's with the kid cookies then, huh?
I see adult cookies exclusively.
Yeah, anybody can enjoy a cookie. Did you
But
have
why
one?
are-
They're
Why
delicious.
are the kids not supposed to eat them? Because they're about to go out with all the toys. So I need to know what's going to happen with those cookies.
Listen, the North Pole LLC runs on supply and demand. And sometimes, especially in those hot summer months when all the kids want to do is go to the beach on their ding-dang TikToks and eat fantasy TikToks is what I meant to say, and eat ice cream. So you got to drive up demand for presents. So maybe there's a little suggestion in some of those cookies. Just hypothetically.
Suggestion in the
A
cookies? What does that mean?
suggestion to get toys?
Everybody likes toys. Year
And how-
round.
I mean,
Do
you're not
you-
wrong, Santa, but
No,
I'm
he's
still
not
real
Santa, they are.
confused to like what's in the cookies that
Do
would.
you make a
I
spell?
don't. Is this like a thing? Oh, okay, thank you. I was gonna say this is Diana asking. Like, is this
Yeah,
like
above table, it's a spell that like
Okay.
makes kids want toys year round, which increases the demand for presents.
Oh,
Is
so
it
it just
kids
real
makes
that
them
life
normal.
already want toys?
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
I don't
say,
have
real life, we
kids,
call it
but like the
sugar.
resident parents here, I think could probably chime in that most kids want
They
toys all
always
year
want
round.
Yeah, I can't confirm that actually.
Because you are.
Speaking as the resident parent.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were speaking as the resident child.
I thought you were
Oh.
too.
Yeah, that would have been funnier.
So, okay, suggestion to get toys, but you're not making any money off these toys. So what's the purpose?
Well, I'm not making any money off the toys right now, but I'll tell you
Oh.
what's free in Wintertide maybe costs 4 or 5 gold dragons in the summertime.
Wait a
Mm,
minute, you're doing the exact same thing Fanny is, except with nicotine, you're doing it with vape. With toys.
no. Oh,
Yeah, but toys are healthier for you. Vapes are terrible. Don't vape, kids.
you want to know what's not healthy for you? It's having a magical suggestion on your brain when you are an adolescent.
That's not true. That shit doesn't hurt anybody.
That's a lie. Okay, next question. What's with the murder deer?
Oh, the pain deer. They're just cool.
I
They
feel like that's
They-
true.
There's
I
there's
feel
like
like-
at least a like 80% chance that they're coming for you. Just FYI.
I,
No,
I
that's
feel like
impossible. They're in the stables.
Yeah, no, they're
Ooh,
not.
Not anymore.
they're like super shackled up actually. They can't get anywhere.
What was the portals?
And
Oh,
Oh, you mean to the artificer villages? Well, those ding-dang ice gnomes sure know how to make something out of nothing. And, in the winter tides and the busy months, if you give them a couple of itinerant bums and you say, and it's not forced labor, it's suggestive labor.
so they're just the ice gnomes are just artificing all these toys for free out of the kindness of their own hearts.
I think they got different cookies.
Well, let's just say sometimes some of those bums don't come all the way back.
Okay.
You know,
So
I'm
we-
feeling less and less bad about stabbing you in the heart.
I'm 100% on board with murdering this guy. I do not like any of this.
Listen,
so
Johnny
we-
Jingles is running a business. The North Pole LLC will sell toys to the whole world someday.
only at the price of people's lives. It's fine.
Free will's an illusion. Let's go,
Capitalism.
Amazon.
God bless.
I do want to ask about the monster in the thing too. I'm curious about the Juggernaut and the Grinch. So
I'd love it in a character voice.
okay. Listen, fake Santa, Jeff Bezos, fantasy Jeff Bezos, murdery guy. We saw my friend here saw that there's some kind of monster, invisible monster, maybe. I don't know what it is. It's in a Juggernaut. I want to know about the Juggernaut monster and also the Grinchy guy with the cool hair. Who is that? What's going on? Why do they want to murder you? And I'm kind of on his team now. Just letting you
Well,
know.
I like to imagine that Arnold described it as invisible because when he asked Gareth what he looked like, Gareth said, "I didn't see it,"
Yeah.
and so that's how Arnold interpreted that.
Probably.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so Johnny Jingles says, Arnold, he falters. You see, so far he's been pretty calm response, answers ready at hand. With this one, there's a pause, there's a hesitation, and he says, "Well, listen, that ice gnome is a rogue one. He wanted to unionize." And I said, "No, sir. You get right in that cage because I'm paying you a fair wage according to my book as Johnny Jingles and the CEO. So I know what you deserve."
He's also Fantasy Starbucks CEO. God
Capitalism, baby.
I know. I was just waiting
This
for it.
His name isn't Johnny Jangles, it's John Capitalism.
damn.
John C. Jingles. John. That's fine.
Nice.
No, it's not. Keep going.
That's all he says.
And yeah, okay, so
What's with the
your
invisible?
gnome wasn't doing his job, so you put him in the slammer, sure. And what about the freak in the giant cage or whatever may be in there?
What giant cage?
Haha, tell us, or I will take this still sitting in my hand ice knife and murder your butt.
Right. I like to imagine that like Cerulean's had just like a sharpened like icicle hovering in her palm.
I'm taking like one of my daggers and just making it a little bit sharper.
Nice. He eyes it, and you can see like a cold, clammy sweat break out on his like miserable brow. And he says, "I really don't want to tell you.
I really don't care."
Do you promise you won't kill me?"
No.
No.
Debatable.
Wait, can I
if
roll
you
for intimidation and
Wait.
say like, I promise I will kill you if you don't tell us right now? Like,
Okay, Arnold.
Wait, can I do this, Arnold? Like,
Yes,
I was just
absolutely
I swear
you
at this
can.
point, with everything you've said, I will murder you if you do not tell us right
Do it.
now.
Roll it.
Okay.
I was simply just gonna put my fingers behind my back and cross them and then say yes.
Classic
Hang on.
lying.
What's my... Ooh,
I was just gonna tell him I was gonna murder him anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, Arnold's lying where Mel would not have been.
Like, go out on the truth. Okay, you're going out either way. You might as well go out with like a little bit of decency with the truth.
I got
Might as well give us
That
a
would be
hand.
my tactic, you
What'd
know.
you get?
18.
Oh,
18.
you're
All right.
intimidating, Arnold.
Yeah, no, he is. So I'll tell you what, Arnold, he fumbles back to the desk and with shaking fingers opens a drawer. And then you see him reach inside and then you hear like a click. And then he opens another drawer. And then he pulls out a big silver key. And he extends it to you. He says, "Here, this is the last thing I got. The last trick in Johnny Jingles' playbook.
What
Here
if
you
it's
go."
actual Santa?
Can I take the key but still ask him like, thank you, but you still haven't told us what is in the cage?
Think we're supposed to go find out,
I think
but I think he could give us a hint.
Is it dangerous?
he reaches into the desk, whip fast, and pulls out a scroll.
Now, my trigger was that he made a move.
That's true. So would you like to roll to attack?
Yes, I would.
All right.
Because he's beyond us now, right?
He's at the desk. It's probably like 10 feet away. It's not too far, but like, you
All I
know.
need. Natural 20. Not even kidding.
Bang.
All right.
Do I get to double
damage.
dice? Do I get
Roll
to double
damage
dice?
and double your dice.
Okay, 3 and a 9, 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
He rolled a 4. So roll the regular frost damage.
So 3d6. 10.
So all day it was
20 something. What was the
24?
first thing that I said?
I think it was 24.
24, 22.
Let's say 24 or 22. All right.
Wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
Arnold and Mel and Gareth, you see Johnny Jingles pull a piece of parchment out of his desk. And then you see Johnny Jingles turned into like a wet red mess of skin and bone.
A fine
As-
red
Fucked up
mist.
cerulean.
As
Fucked
a
up.
fucking ice knife from hell shatters his poor frail human frame. And he is splattered all over his messy
Guess
desk and
who's not
corkboards.
the only murder hobo anymore?
And
He's dead, right?
punched into the wall is the remnants of his hand.
No, I really hope
Holding
a
a piece of
smaller one
paper.
crawls out of this body too, and it's just like
Like a
Russian
Russian
nesting
nesting
dolls. Yeah.
Punched into the wall is the remnants of his hand holding a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper is a child's drawing of a boy holding Santa Claus's hand. And it's signed Johnny Jingles.
That is crazy. Whew.
Let's do a smash cut. Smash cut. Gareth, you were standing in front of a giant gingerbread and candy cane cage, holding a key that slips into the lock. And beside you, you hear Dave Grinch saying like, "Psst, hey, Busta, don't open that. Or if you can open that, let me out first."
And so it's not. Can we see through it? Is it like a barred cage? Can we see what's inside?
So it's made of candy canes, but all of the holes in the candy canes have been sealed with
Oh,
graham
that's right,
cracker.
with the graham crackers.
Correct.
Can I peek through the keyhole?
No, all you see is black.
Fuck.
There was a food hole.
There
There
was
was a
food hole,
magic
and I
food
looked-
hole.
Can I like kick a candy cane to let this guy out?
You're gonna bruise your foot. This is a very strong cage.
It's a hell of a candy cane.
It's a magic candy cane.
I picked up that elf lady's keys before she got eviscerated.
Oh,
I should
you
have
did.
one
Oh,
of the
yeah, you
keys to
did.
let Dave Grinch out, right?
You can run it back. He absolutely did off
he
of her
did.
Yeah,
piece.
no, I remember.
part
I
body.
remember.
Here, I'll toss the key to Dave Grinch's cage to Cerulean. But make sure he gets us 500 gold dragons. He
I
owes
did.
us.
I did kill Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, I take a bucket. Use your boss.
All right. He let's do this. Let's say Cerulean, the key opens the lock. And
I want the money first. I'm not letting him out of this candy cane.
So he says,
That's the spirit.
I assume he has to get the money.
Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah, hey gang, I don't have it on me.
But you see what we did to your boss, so if
right,
you
no,
don't
yeah,
pay,
I am sufficiently terrified of you. What's y'all got like a fantasy phone number? You got like
Just
like
drop it
address
off
in
at
the city?
Troll Skull Manor.
Luckily, there's a fantasy ATM right outside.
All right, Troll Skull Manor, I got it.
Mm.
I'll be seeing you real quick. And he steps past the confines of this candy cane cage and snaps his fingers. And Cerulean, you see a ripple of iridescent light pass from his fingers up through his arm and into his chest, and he disappears in a blizzard of snowflakes. Gareth.
Gareth gets like momentarily distracted from the task at hand. It's like, I told you to make sure he pays. You let him go. You weren't gonna follow him, or like he's actually mad about this.
What do you want me to do? Lick the snowflakes.
Gareth goes ahead and unlocks the cage tentatively.
All
I
right.
deserve that.
The key slides in the lock and the door swings out towards you, and you have to take a step back away from it. The inside of this cage is like pitch black, and you see a huge form in front of you. And the floor almost seems to quake as it takes 3 steps forward into the light. And just before the light touches it, you hear a soft ho, ho, ho.
I close the door. No, I'm kidding.
Close the door.
We're gonna smash cut. Smash cut. let's say it is a cold wintertide night over Waterdeep. The snow is falling in silent sheets across chimneys and windows, and there's a soft ringing of bells, and a shape passes over the moon as it rises over Mount Waterdeep. And I think there are gasps of delight moving into the dawn hours as the red dawn slowly starts to peek over the eastern horizon, as little kids sort of like wake up and gasp with delight as they find out that Santa Claus has finally delivered their wintertide presents, free of snow globes, free of cookies, free of vape pens.
Gems.
We've saved Christmas.
And
Winter tide.
And
it
little
is-
lungs.
it is the wee hours of the morning, and I think it's Gareth
It's counting
who
1,500 gold dragons.
comes upstairs and sees four boxes sitting on top of his skylight, or what used to be his skylight, which is now the large central fireplace of Troll Skull Tavern, each of which has a handwritten note to each of you. One for Gareth, one for Mel, one for Cerulean, one for Arnold. And you open them to find clinging and clanging piles of gold coins sliding all over each other to the sum of 1,500 gold dragons.
Rich.
In one of them, I think in Mel's probably, there is a addendum note written in a sharp and very fast hand that says, and you can almost hear this voice disappearing in the jingling of bells as Santa's sleigh disappears into the horizon. Now we're even. Don't ever let the name of Dave Grinch pass your lips again.